YouTube, good morning, good noon, good night. It's your boy Rowdy, and we back with another vid. Today we're going to react to the panel on Piers Morgan. It's a pretty lengthy panel, but I wanted to really get into the nitty gritty about. They're talking about Kanye and what he said not too long ago about the group that should not be mentioned, the UJs. I don't know if that's pig Latin, but whatever. The ones that were the thing on their head. Those folks, those wonderful rich folks that should not be named. And he says some things, and the argument that they're having. This is a crazy panel, and it really did get crazy. But we're just going to kind of go through a couple of things. We're not going to go crazy, but anyway, they were kind of asking whether or not Kanye was right to say some of the things that he was saying, and kind of talk about why wasn't he censored because of how extreme what he was saying was. But he got censored after he posted some pornography on the page. So I'm kind of interested to get into this, and I'm gonna definitely leave the link so you guys can watch the whole thing because this was very insightful, and it gave you different perspectives. I'm not necessarily gonna leave all of these guys links, so I feel like Piers probably did. So if you want to watch these guys and if you want to follow them, you can kind of go to Piers's video and kind of go from there. I'm just gonna react to the situation with Myron and Piers pressing him. Okay. But anyway, if you could like, comment, and subscribe for more content from my perspective. I try to keep it even and with more common sense because a lot of people come from a super right wing or super left wing, but a lot of those are super jaded. And I try to bring some common sense to the situation and kind of break it down as as small as digestible as I can. So if you can't understand me, then I don't know who else you're going to understand because I really break it down to the bare bones. That's kind of the way I want to go with this. Anyway, like I said, I want to hear you guys and I want to get to know you guys. I want you guys to comment. I want you guys to tell me what you want to hear and tell me, what you feel when I do these videos. Just go from there, feel me? But anyway, without further ado, here's the vid. Let's get going.
You've now changed what you wanted to say originally. My question for you is, do you now regret saying DEFCON 3 on Jewish people? Are you sorry you said that?
No.
I think it matters. You should be.
Absolutely not.
When you insult the Jewish people and say you're going DEFCON 3 on the Jewish people, that is as racist as anything you say you've been through and any pain that you've experienced. It's the same thing. Racism is racism. And you know that, I think, don't you?
Yeah, obviously. That's why I said it.
So you said it knowing it's racist?
Yes. I fought fire with fire.
Okay.
I'm not here to get hosed down.
At least that's
honest.
honest.
A different type of freedom fighter. I will say I'm sorry for the people that I hurt with the DEFCON, the confusion that I call. I feel like I cause hurt and confusion. And I'm sorry for the families of the people that had nothing to do with the trauma that I had been through, and that I use my platform where you say hurt people, and I was hurt.
But the truth is, he wasn't sorry about the hurt. Otherwise, he wouldn't have carried on doing it for the last 3 days. And just to bring you back, Myron, if I can.
He's back. I said, gaining, and I guarantee you, there's some music coming down the pipeline.
Right.
That's why he's doing this.
Yeah, it's attention seeking for personal gain. Myron, let me bring you back in, because yesterday when you were getting into it with me about what you perceive to be censorship, you said, why the fuck are you calling for censorship when you have a show called Uncensored, the hip?
Well, that's what's crazy about Pearson. Why I love this show, because typically he'll bring somebody on after he's had maybe some kind of back and forth on social media with them. And I'm like, what better way? Not only am I going to press you, but I'm going to make some money off of you if you want to sit there and talk crazy to me on social media. That's like, yo, that's genius, bro. But anyway, that's what I love about it. I just had to interject that real quick. Let's get rocking.
Hypocrisy is incredible. But I was calling for a censorship of blatant, threatening violence in the language, abuse of Jewish people. and of women, including trying to market a T-shirt based around an incident of criminal domestic abuse. Surely you would agree with that censorship, wouldn't you?
No, I don't believe in censorship. I think, context matters, and it's very obvious that, he's doing this as a marketing plug. I mean, look, we're talking about it right now, so he's done a fantastic job. He had a commercial with the Super Bowl. He's the talk of the town right now. He's basically stolen the attention from Kendrick Lamar. Some people here are trying to say that Kendrick is more relevant than Kanye when it comes to hip hop, but he's stolen the attention. How? From really smart marketing. Now, with that said, I don't think anyone's ability to speak should ever be censored. Now, do I like everything that he says? No, but I'm going to fight for his ability to say it. I also think it's important to note that sarcasm and humor and making jokes is a part of what he was saying. Is he really going to run around and slap women? No. Obviously, he's being sarcastic. He's being funny. He's being edgy. And I think that's important because we need people like that pushing the envelope so we could protect free speech.
But he was literally trying to sell a T-shirt which had imagery of his friend Diddy, his new friend apparently, because they fell out, his friend Diddy involved in a criminal act of abuse against a woman.
So if you support it, that means more often than not, you are likely to do it. That's where I was kind of confused, and I feel like Myron started to kind of get off the rails a little bit. I do agree. We do need people to be able to say what they want to say, so we know what people are thinking. And it adds nuance because now we understand there's not just echo chambers. We don't have different people saying the same things. The thing that makes society great and makes a society and a country great is being able to have multiple different backgrounds, thought processes, religions, political stances and stuff like that. It allows us to be able to come together, especially if we can have these kind of conversations. That's the beauty of a country like us, where we can say certain things. However, with this, the question is, it begs the question, is it okay to say certain things? Now, is everything on the table? Like if I want to say I want to, do harm to somebody, no, you should not be saying that you want to do harm to anybody, because at the end of the day, that is a crime. I believe that is battery. And if I say I want to do harm and I'm doing harm by that, it's assault and battery. So that's an actual crime that you could be charged with if it's a threat. Threats are crimes. You should not be going and threatening people. And that's what that's what people keep pointing at. So it's not a matter of Kanye doing anything with some of his words per se. I just feel like he's pushing the envelope a little too far, just like he is. Kanye's always been super edgy. But again, just like the left in society, when is enough enough? And as Choke No Joke has said, it seems like he needs to seize that, and Myron said it too. Kanye needs to seize that attention because there's some music or something that's coming out that he got to push the envelope. So before he was all Jesus this, Jesus that, and Yeezus and all that, and that was edgy. Kind of perverting Jesus and making it what he made it, and kind of making that idea of Jesus, and like I said, perverting it made people turn their heads like, oh wow, maybe he's doing this, he's doing that. Now that he's kind of turned over that leaf, he's on to being the real devil that he is. This is what he's doing, and his mind is messed up. You could tell. Is he crazy? No. But evil, I would say so. And this is what happens. Shoot. Nah, I'm not even going to go that far. I'm going to get back into it.
Literally, that's what he was doing.
Yeah, I mean, it's America.
Well, hang on one second. Just to be clear, though, Myron. Just to be clear, Myron, you think that was acceptable?
Again, capitalism is capitalism. Do I agree with it? Do I like it? Maybe not. However, I will support his ability to do it because he's obviously marketing things. He thinks maybe he has some dark humor that he wants to do where he thought that was funny. But the reality is that this is America and capitalism is a thing here.
Just to be clear, Myron, when Elon Musk replied yesterday to someone on X and said that he was now being censored for the legal pornography that he was posting, did you agree with that?
Before Myron says what he says, I think because Elon has so much stuff going on, I think with Kanye, there were strikes. So he gave him different strikes. I don't think he's just, because with people with huge platforms, I don't think he's just going to take them off. I think they'll get certain strikes And then once they get to a point where they've done enough, like, just I think the porn was the feather that broke the camel's back. And the reason why it was censored is because of the platform that Kanye has. Not necessarily because it's illegal on Twitter, but considering that Kanye has a monetizable platform, and that platform is more than sex work. It's so much more, which invites younger people that are under the age of 18. That's why I feel like it should have been censored. And I do agree with censorship to a certain extent, because again, especially when it comes to kids they should not see certain things. So they should not hear certain things, they should not see certain things, and they should not be around certain things in certain environments. So because of that, I do believe in censorship for the most part when it comes to children. But I feel like that's what nobody's really saying, because if we're going to go off of what Kanye's saying and doing, what he's doing is wrong, but what he's saying is his right to say it. But the reason why it's frowned upon, especially why he got censored for the pornography, is because children can be involved, and that is the ultimate crime.
Well, I don't like pornography, but again, it is legal. There's a 3-part test in America with the Miller test to see if it suffices. And, you can make the argument that, it didn't cause any issues as far as...
So Elon was wrong to censor him?
With pornography?
Yes.
Well, again, I don't like porn. I don't think it should be on X at all, personally.
Okay, so you agree with censorship?
For pornography.
Right, but just to be clear, you agree with censorship?
No, I agree with pornography not being on X. I think it needs to be contained in a certain way.
What he needs to say, I don't think he's going to say. But what Myron should say is, I don't like pornography. However, if it's a legal thing and it's on a platform, there's nothing I can say or do to fix it. But I do not agree with pornography. I do think that it has its issues, and there are many of them that cause degradation to a society. But this is my point, this is my values, and that's what I stick with. Then I don't think there's any holes you can really poke in it. But the issue is Piers can continue to poke at him about the censorship. But I mean, hey, I'm just a near novice. I know nothing. Maybe there's a better way to go about it. Y'all tell me in the comments.
It is legal. It was legal what he was posting.
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, I don't have to like it or agree with it.
So you think saying that you should treat Jews like slaves and whip them, or bitches deserve to be slapped, that is not, or try to sell a T-shirt of a domestic crime being committed, you think none of those things are worse than posting legal pornography?
Yeah, I find it interesting that you're, harping on this, but there's people that monetize murder and death all the time in the hip hop industry. There's people that
I don't agree with that either.
Exactly. You don't have to agree with it for it to happen or for it to be allowed.
I'm curious why you think only the pornography, which was legal, to be clear, should be censored. You didn't think any of the other stuff should be. What's the difference?
Pornography and political speech? Completely different.
No, pornography and saying that Jews should be whipped and treated as slaves.
Well, that's speech. I mean, if he wants to say that, you know what I mean? I don't have to agree with it, but I think if he wants to say that, he should be able to say that. I mean...
So again, consenting adults having sex and posting that is not acceptable, but treating Jews or saying Jews should be slaves and be whipped, that is acceptable for you?
Speech, you cannot conflate speech with pornography, Piers.
Why
I see
not?
what you're trying to...
Why not?
They're not the same whatsoever.
Why aren't they the same thing?
No, they're not.
Why not?
No,
Explain why the difference.
Because in order to allow speech in, you need to allow all speech in so that people can come in and be able to have ideas, right? We need to
What's
get into
wrong with people having sex?
But if you're going to go ahead and say, oh, yeah, let's go ahead and conflate that with pornography. Well, there's nothing really to debate there, any real discourse that could be had with pornography of watching people have sex.
To treat people like slaves and whip them would be illegal. Actually, legal pornography is legal.
No,
so you're in favour of censoring something that's legal, but you're not in favour of censoring something that's illegal. I find that fascinating.
Yeah, him saying that is actually protected under the First Amendment. Hate speech is protected under...
That's the point. It's not.
I don't believe hate speech is protected under the First Amendment. You can say what you want to say, but you can't say things, especially not even just hate speech, but threats of things like that. You can't make those kind of threats, because at the end of the day, now that's a crime, like Piers was saying. But I believe if Myron was to say, if he wants to stand 10 toes on this free speech without having any barriers or anything like that, I don't think like I said, he should say, I don't think that I don't agree with anything that Kanye has said or what he has done, but he has the right to do so and stand 10 toes. I don't agree with it. I think it's morally wrong because now we're arguing whether or not it's legal. We're arguing legality against morality. So morally, no, I do not agree with anything that he has said, anything that he has done. But I do agree that he has the right to say what he is saying. And I do not believe that he should have been censored because at the end of the day, blah, 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 blah. I feel like he would have been able to push back on Piers. But he's trying to have this hill to die on about having free speech, and then he wants to sit there again and contradict himself about pornography. And I just feel like at the end of the day, you do got to choose, or you don't. At the end of the day, it would probably be better for you to understand what you feel like would be actually worse for society. And although they are both neck and neck, being able to threaten somebody without there being a consequence would be worse than being able to see people have sex online. That's just, that's just obvious. I'm just keeping it a buck. But anyway, I do appreciate you guys watching this video with Piers. It gets crazy, and I kind of want you guys to watch that and have your own thing. I don't want to sit there and cut into it. I just wanted to kind of react to Myron and how he was, his point of view with that, because a lot of people do know Myron, and just hear where he's coming from with that. But anyway, please, if you could, like, comment, subscribe, and I'm gonna holler at y'all in the next one. All right, peace.